Jane Kaylee. We're here to watch some um you know videos. So
You don't have friends? Of course you do, Billy!
so yeah. Um, ta-dum.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Out of all the videos you could have clicked on, it's not a coincidence you're here right now on this video. You could literally be doing anything right now. You could be watching Ryan Trahan. I love Ryan Trahan. You could be watching Mr. Beast. I like Mr. Beast. You could be watching some really cool, engaging video right now, but you decided to click on a God video, and that is no small thing. And you clicked on the right one because, man, I've been learning so much about the number 40 in the Bible. And have you ever noticed that the number 40 shows up a lot in the Bible? Think about it. When Noah was on the ark, it rained for 40 days. But on day 41, the rain stopped. The Israelites were in the wilderness wandering for 40 years. But on year 41, they finally stepped into the...
So me. All right. Super this. When I see the devil's eyes, look away and smile wide. You found me. Then I know you're almost there. 'Cause proof is in the adversary. You found me. Ash in the surface is evidence. Left there on purpose, a sunset lying on the surface. Can you find me when I see the devil's eyes? Current travels on my spine. You found me. A drag pad, ash in the surface is evidence. Left there on purpose, just lying on the surface. Can you find me? I dug my heels into the gravel as evidence. I'm here to unravel a drag back ash in the surface. Can you find me? I drank pen, ash in the surface as evidence. I left there on purpose, the sunset lying on the surface. Can you find me? I dug my heels into the gravel as evidence. For you to unravel a dry path, ash on the surface. Can you find me? Can you find me? Can you find me? Can you find me? Can you find me?
The promise of the future is an awesome force. We look back for experience, but we have to look forward now for inspiration. And what gives us inspiration to get up in the morning and do our job, learn skills, develop all that we can possibly be, is the promise of the future. And it can be so powerful that it can overwhelm any adversary you might have, any difficulties you might have. Here's a key phrase: reasons make the difference in your appetite and zest for taking on the challenge, doing the job, becoming successful. You can overcome the most unbelievable challenges if you have enough reasons. There's an ancient phrase, here's what it says: if you try to save your life, you will lose it. But if you will lose your life, meaning if you will invest your life, that's the best way to save it and to multiply it many times over. So here's the phrase: investing life into life has the potential of creating miracles. Investing life into life creates a new baby, but investing life into life with ideas, information, association, influence can create enterprise, can create a corporation, can create a business, can create a... It's nice to see all of you. I want to thank you for coming tonight. There's a lot of places you could be besides attending a seminar, home with your family or visiting friends or having a party or whatever. But you've chosen to be here tonight, and I appreciate that very much. I keenly feel two responsibilities, and I'm sure you can guess what those are. Number one is to make sure you get your money's worth, right, when you shell out your hard-earned cash. And I know the money for the seminar is not the end of the money, right? By the time you take your family out to dinner and hire a babysitter and put gasoline in your car, right, the tab keeps going up. And by the time you add it all up, it's fairly substantial. The promise of the future is an awesome force.
So, you know, these seminars are just there's a reason.
The promise of the future is an awesome force. We look back for experience, but we have to look forward now for inspiration. And what gives us inspiration to get up in the morning and do our job, learn skills, develop all that we can possibly be, is the promise of the future. And it can be so powerful that it can overwhelm any adversary you might have, any difficulties you might have. Here's a key phrase: reasons make the difference in your appetite and zest for taking on the challenge, doing the job, becoming successful. You can overcome the most unbelievable challenges if you have enough reasons. There's an ancient phrase, here's what it says: if you try to save your life, you will lose it. But if you will lose your life, meaning if you will invest your life, that's the best way to save it and to multiply it many times over. So here's the phrase: investing life into life has the potential of creating miracles. Investing life into life creates a new baby. But investing life into life with ideas, information, association, influence can create enterprise, can create a corporation, can create a business, can create a movement, can create something that benefits many more people than just those few that might have invested in each other's lives. So make this note now: you never know who's in the audience. So you don't know who's out there that's going to make an impact on the world, that's going to do extraordinary things. So here's what you must always do: always be sincere and always do your best, no matter who you talk to, because you just don't know. You just don't know who's there ready or when the timing is right. So jot this down: it takes more than one voice to help us to see, help us to think, help us to make decisions, help us to evaluate. It takes a variety of personalities, messages, points of view, the weight of experience. If it comes from several sources, it can be just incredibly valuable when you sum total it. Okay, let's talk about setting goals. When I first met Earl Schoaf, not long after we had met each other, he asked me, "Mr. Rohn, maybe here's one of the best ways I can help you." He said, "Let me see your current list of goals and let's go over them and talk about them." He said, "I've got the experience." And he said, "Let's do it." And I said to him, "I don't have a list." He said, "Well, if you don't have a list of your goals," he said, "I can guess your bank balance within a few $100s, which he did. And I thought, isn't that something? Then I said to him, "You mean if I had a list of goals, it would change my bank balance?" He said, "Drastically." So that got my attention. And all those years ago, I learned how to set goals. We're primarily affected by 5 things. Number 1 is the environment: the political environment, the social environment, the physical environment. Whatever surrounds us affects us: the city, the country, the countryside, the village. The political environment, the social environment, the physical environment. Whatever surrounds us affects us: the city, the country, the countryside, the village, the office, the people. We're constantly affected and shaped by our reaction and decision making. A lot of it depends on the environment. And for the physical environment, we all need to pay attention to that. Make every contribution you can. It's one little small planet. Remember those first pictures from space, looking back on Earth? It looked so fragile, it looked so small. We thought, wow, so many people live there. How can that be? We must take care of it. It's, right now, it's the only planet we got. Do everything we can. My mama taught me those little things, right? Pick up, don't leave your trash. A little thing like, I remember I got a toothpick once at the cafe, and I took the little cellophane off the toothpick and I just dropped it on the floor. Mama said, no, you wouldn't do that at home. I thought, wow. She said, just put it in your pocket. And then when you get home, you put it in the trash. And somebody said, well, what difference does that make? The little cellophane on the toothpick. Here's what makes the difference: the habit. And the habit makes the difference primarily for you. Now, yes, it makes a contribution, and a little small contribution by not leaving trash. But here's what it does mostly: give you the incredible feeling of self-worth because you have good habits. That's the deal. The habit of turning out the lights when you're finished with your hotel room. You leave the hotel room, turn out the lights. It just makes a small contribution, but what if everybody did it? I'm telling you, the energy requirements would be less. You say, well, the hotel gets the benefit. Hey, it doesn't matter to you who gets the benefit. Guess what's the greatest benefit? Being a person of unique habits. Habits that not only make you perform as far as skills are concerned, but habits that make you feel good about yourself. If it's so easy to do, why not do all the easy things that make a contribution? And who knows what the total contribution could be if we all did it. But even if everybody doesn't, if you do it, and if I do it, it just makes us better human beings. It makes us feel better about ourselves. And if I know you do it, it makes me feel better about you. And if you know I do it, I think it makes you feel better about me. Here's two excellent questions to jot down. And this is for mature people now, because these are kind of tough questions, especially one. Here's the first question. What's got you turned on? That's a good list to make. Here's what's got me turned on. Here's what's got me up early, staying up late, maximizing my abilities all day long. Here's the list of what's got me turned on. Now here's the next question. What's got you turned off? How come you don't have the zest and the vitality and the appetite for daily accomplishment? I started making a list of the things that had me turned off. And once I got that settled, and then started making a list of what had me turned on and what would turn me on in the future, I'm telling you, my life has never been the same. It was like a revolution, a personal revolution, a 180-degree turn. Wow. I can't say it strong enough. It's easy to get lazy in designing the day and designing the year and designing the future and designing what you want to accomplish and just cross your fingers and hope it'll all work out, that the favorable winds will blow it all your way. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. Now here's the next exercise. This will take now just a little bit of time. And the question is why? Why are those 4 goals important to you? So make these notes now. When the why gets stronger, the how gets easier. When the why gets big, powerful, strong, how seems to be so much easier. Without a strong enough why, the how seems to be too difficult almost to accomplish. Say, how do you manage your time? Hey, if you had strong and powerful enough goals, you'd figure out how to manage your time. You'd get a book on the subject. You know, you'd do something to manage your time if it was worth it. If it's not worth it, you know, why would you bother studying the art of managing your time if it really doesn't matter? But if it really mattered in the accomplishment of your goals and why you wish to accomplish them, see, you can do anything. You can get up any hour, read any book, take any class, make any change, develop any skill, do any discipline. I mean, you can do it all when this how and the why, or when the why starts to grow. The how gets simple. Little note, maybe one of your goals was to have $1 million home on the hill overlooking Snake River Valley. Okay, that'd be a good goal, $1 million home. Here's the next question. What for? What for? I mean, a house is a house is a house with bricks and wood and walls and roof. The key, yes, $1 million home, that'd be wonderful, but what for? So now jot this down. Purpose is stronger than object. The object would be the house, and that'll pull. That's a worthy goal to go for, the object of the house. But here's a stronger goal, the purpose for the $1 million home. You say, well, it'll be the centerpiece of all the family's activity with all kinds of unique people coming and going and the influence and things will be happening in this place. See, now we're getting somewhere. So if you got that line, it's one of my best for the whole day. Purpose is stronger than object. It's okay to have plenty of objects to go for on your goal list. But always keep asking yourself the question, and sometimes it's good to just write it out. Here's why I want this money. Here's why I want this place. Here's why. And you start developing those reasons. And I'm telling you now, this starts to become incredibly powerful. Some of your goals should be personal development. The person you wish to become. Develop skills that make you attractive to the marketplace. Develop the temperament and the attitude that makes you attractive to the business world. The attitude and the temperament that makes you a splendid father, studying the art. Because here's what's important. It's not what you get that makes you valuable. It's what you become that makes you valuable. I keep saying this year after year for the last 39 years publicly. It's the person you become. The idea of becoming an attractive person, a skillful person, a good friend, a good colleague, a good partner, a good member of the round table, a contributor. See, that's the key, the person you become. I mean, I'm telling you, this stuff changed my life, altered the course of my life.